do you have a slide prepared for, you go and you build this SEO system.
Yep.
How long does SEO take to work?
Okay, I can answer that in 2 words. You ready? You ready?
Go.
It depends.
It depends. Yeah, oh, it's the worst, isn't it?
Did you hate that? It's actually one of those things that's very difficult to answer. But basically, this is our guy, Neil Patel. You might be familiar with him. If you've read his stuff, it's fantastic.
He's like, I kind of call him like the Elvis of digital marketing.
Oh, definitely, without a doubt.
That's how nerdy our industry is. When you look at that guy and you're like, what a stud.
He probably has blue suede shoes on right now.
No, exactly.
But actually, I actually recently read a blog where he answered this question, and he answered it with, it depends. And then he wrote this massive blog and threw in a whole bunch of variables, but we just sort of summarized it for you here. So obviously key factors are keyword difficulty, competition, and then it goes on from there. But he would basically say that you probably have 4 months for low competition, almost a year for medium, and maybe even longer for high. Interesting, because it's one of those things that's really difficult, like when we talk to our customers about an SEO strategy, just because of the type of people that we are. We want things Amazon quick. We want to be able to place an order and get it tomorrow. We want that instant gratification. And I call SEO, I call content writing, I refer to it as a slow burn. It's just one of those things that has to be developed, and it has to be tweaked, and it's got to be consistent, like you talked about with the editorial calendar. It has to be systematic, and you have to be patient. Unfortunately, it's one of those things that you can't get into the SEO game and find out that you've got these 3 or 4 keywords and you want to rank tomorrow. That's not going to happen. So one of the things that we do on the sales end is, I love to set expectation for client. So it's one of those things that we really have to keep, sort of beating that drum, in sense that, hey, this is something you have to do. You have to do all the research right now. You have to write all the content right now, and then you have to schedule it out. But give me a year to get back to you on that. It's a challenging thing.
But and that's where I think that if you are just trusting SEO alone, you're gonna have problems. And so what I mean by that, is when you go and you say, Mr. Client, you're gonna pay me for 4 months and you might not even see results. He's gonna be like, that's crazy.
Where do I sign?
Yeah. So like one of the things that I think that SEO sort of has to do is it has to fit in with other parts of your marketing. So while I'm waiting for keywords to get on the first page of Google, I've also have to do certain things. I got to clean up your website. I got to make sure your website's airtight from an online perspective. I got to clean up your directories to improve your domain authority. Then I got to develop an editorial calendar. Then I got to write content. Then I got to see if it ranks. If it doesn't rank, I got to re-optimize, because not everything, it's like spaghetti. Not everything sticks. And even if I get on page 1, that doesn't mean I'm number 1 on page 1, which is our goal. So you have a lot of stuff there. So if the client is just tapping his foot, the reason why we have such a high retention rate is because we say, you know what, to win, you can't just worry about SEO alone.
Right.
And so we've done tactics of whether it's outbound marketing, whether it's LinkedIn automation,
paid ads,
or paid ads. And so what's going to happen here is that we're going to weather the storm. And as your domain authority and your SEO comes up, maybe your paid ads goes down, or maybe your paid ads pivots. But, I think if you just go SEO alone, you got to have a very patient client base.
Right. And that goes back to your first question, which basically is, when you vet somebody for SEO, make sure that they're not selling SEO as the only solution, is really it. Like they can't present SEO as the magic bullet.
Yeah.
Because it's not the magic bullet.
Yeah.
It's a solution that's part of a larger system.
I mean, assuming that they don't have other vendors doing the other stuff too, I'm in 100% agreement. Like if you're hanging all your hopes on one solution,
right? That's
why we say systems, not solutions, because you're one algorithm change away from losing everything.
Absolutely.
And it didn't just hit SEO, it hit Facebook,
across the board.
It hits ads, it hits everything,
Everything.
So yeah, I mean, like one other thing that I was just even thinking, hits everything. It's like online stores used to exist before Amazon. You know,
They did.
now it's just like, how do you compete with Amazon? And so all these online stores are just like saying, you know what, I don't even know whether it's worth the time and energy to put my stuff on Amazon, put my stuff on my own site.
On my own site. Yep.
They're going to go to my site, see it, and then try to buy it off of
Totally.
Amazon, you know? So yeah.